Always in the water, always in some kind of soapy. Always clean and cutting. Use my hands a lot. Outside, I use my hands a lot as well. They get dry. So I started buying moisturizer, and of course that's $18 for. I started making my own with beeswax, and this is a 3 mile trip. How to get 10 feet ahead. That's the reason I'll be cleaning off the camera lenses that I started making my own hand salve that I use for the winter. It's up over there. Here it is. So we are out. It's Tuesday morning, the 25th, I think. Brr. It rained last night. We got some good rain last night. So everything's wet. It's 35, so everything's cold. We have our Jeep at the shop this morning. It's getting, we're getting the new tires put on. So that'd be fun. How we always interested to have something new to the Jeep. Where'd he go? Oh, it's right there. With it being cold and wet, I'd certainly try and stay out of the cold and wet, because I don't like to be cold and wet. Because I'm old. I don't like being cold and wet. Brr. But knowing it is also hunting season, and normally we don't have a problem with people out here. And it is still early. I think it's almost 9 o'clock or something. Yikes. That's not for Christmas decorations on this calendar. That's like the fluorescent orange for me. That's so if there happens to be somebody out here hunting, they'll see that red and know enough to let it be. But that's not. That's not. Never has been a problem. I don't think it will be this far close to our neighborhood. Tree down up there. There's some good winds here a couple days ago. That one's fallen some more. That's a new one. No, it's the same one. That guy's about ready to come down. Yeah, his ass end is coming up out of the ground already. So yeah, he's barely hanging on. Actually, this one would be the first to go. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yes, that does freak me out just a bit. So that's all it was hanging on, is right there. Pressure. Also a great song by David Bowie and Queen. Insanity laughs. Under pressure we're cracking. Love that line. Oh, Where's your brother? Boy, it's quiet out here. Except for the FedEx plane coming in. This one right here is the Dachshund variety mix. He's got some other mutt inside of him, but he's mostly a Dachshund. He's short, he's long, and he's just goofy. I think he's half retarded. Can't say that, but I think he is. And the other one, Mac, this big guy, he's pit bull, boxer, bull mastiff. It's about the top three. Also, he's got some mutt, so he's got some other stuff in him, but that's the big three. He is a gentle giant, which is not a giant. He's 70 pounds. Very protective, very smart, which I absolutely love. We had our first dog, Bosco, was a lab mix, and he was ungodly smart. But this guy he was smart right from the beginning. This puppy, he is smart. He's the leader of the two. He's a wild card. He likes to nip, he likes to have fun. But he's gonna tell us where we're going. And Ruckus being he's usually the one in the back, making sure everybody's accounted for. Except for now, when he runs right by me. He's probably got a scent. They're happy to be out. They like it when it's cold and wet, because the wet keeps the scent of whatever's been walking by. Of course, I got my work shoes on. They're waterproof, so I don't have to worry about going home in wet sock, wet boot. Like I said, I'm not a fan of being wet and cold. That's fun. We made this trail. This trail we're walking on was actually made by our first dog here, Franklin. Chauncey. He found this trail, and we started to clear it after a couple of years. And naturally, it's been walked on a lot by us, and proves that there have been other settlers out there. Zussi Raza, how are you? How is chat? Good morning, good morning. It is cold. I am in Michigan. This is Michigan. I'm at the very top of your tip-top middle finger. I'm an hour and a half away from Canada. Well, probably 45 minutes away from Canada. I'm a half hour away from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I am currently in a town called Pellston. Step code 49769. Important thing to know about Pellston, it was named the Icebox of the Nation back in 1950 something or whatever, it hit 52 below zero. Brr. That's nuts. Personally, I have seen a negative wind chill of in the low 40s, 45 below. That's when it's just, that was during Christmas one year, mid 90s, if I remember right. Back in the 1900s. But that was cold. You have a hunter up here, I do know that, so we're not gonna go much further. Boys! Hey! Come here. We're not gonna go much further. There's a turnoff right here. We're gonna, boys, come on. We're gonna take that turn off. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go north on the ridge. Hey, come here. We don't usually go this way, but we're not going straight. We're gonna get off here to make a turn. Oh. Underneath the ground are all these little logs. So even though you can't see them, this place, you're walking on top of them. So when I go, oh, that means my foot's usually slipped like that. But luckily, with my size 11s, double wide, they're like boats. I usually can get them on top of them. This was an old, we used to do a lot of clearing up here. I'm gonna say 20 years ago, maybe. So this is what this spot is. There's a couple of these around that are cleared like this. There's another one a couple 100 feet that way. Oh, excuse me. But if I were a hunter, this is right where I'd be. Well, when I come hunt, this is right where I'd want to be. Just whatever bullet you got, something bigger than a, oh, I don't know, whatever. You're usually going to get through these poplars. Got a hunter's blind up there, so we're not going up there. We're going to backtrack this way. Go back the way we came, but we're going to go through the woods. There's that dog in the back there, and that's the Amish. I take it back. What's that? It is. It's over there. Our house is that way. That's the Amish. The river, Maple River is here. Sheboygan's way over there. Pelson's over there. Riggsville's right there. But the Amish own, wow, that way, about 2 miles. They own most of that area. I'm gonna say that's probably a 20 mile by, I'm just spitballing, 20 by 20 mile square that they own all the land in there. This is absolutely incredible. During the growing season, they are out in those fields. They have great produce. They have a produce stand they have in the summer. Come on. They have a dessert barn. Not a barn, but a dessert building. They make desserts and sell them. Oh my God. There's whipped cream made with whole milk. I mean, it's, good Lord. It's like having your first cup of Mississippi mud coffee. You'll wonder what you've been missing your whole life. I have not had, yeah, that was another log. I have not had anything from the Amish that I have not enjoyed, savored, shall be the word. Ah. Yeah. My hands are cold. Don't wear any gloves. I don't wear my winter hat either. 'Cause why did they have the camo on, or not the camo, but the orange on this morning? After the rain and the sun's up, coming up, the deer are gonna start moving a little bit. I wanted to get out before that happened. So we have come across our second. The thing with this area out here is they've cleared it so much that there's trails that, you know, we forget that are back here. And this is another one that leads off into the, well, actually, it'll lead off to the other clear spot sitting over on the right about 500, 600 feet. The only problem with that is it's not this clear trail walking. Come on. That's, have those little things you bend when you walk by them, and I forget sometimes they use it behind me and it hits them in the face. That ain't cool. I forget. So, but I remember I let him go ahead and try to whip him in the face. Especially being cold. I know as far as my face, I hate walking through these small poplars. Reminds me of my grandma when I was a kid in Texas. The first time she told me to go out and get my switch from the tree. I'm going to get the small one because it won't hurt as much. Yeah. Same thing here. You get stepped in the face with one of these old things. Fucking hurts. And if it's cold, it hurts even more. There's another clear spot that we come to quite often in the wintertime. These are nice respites from trunching through all these trees. It's a winter wonderland. It actually is. It's very beautiful back here in the wintertime. There's a gunshot. That was over to our back. So that tells me there's somebody hunting at the pipeline, which is behind us. We got a couple big hills between us, so I'm not worried about anything like that. Ruckus is sitting on the trail right there, but I don't want to get too far out there. Boys, come here. Tuesday, Thanksgiving Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna err on the side of caution that there might be somebody out here on Thanksgiving vacation or something. We're not gonna walk through the woods, stay on the trail, but I'm gonna go slow. I usually give them a quote-unquote leash of where I can see them. I'll call them back when they get off the trail. Now, like we did. Yesterday we were up at the pipeline in the afternoon. Sun's out, all hunters are gone. We, usually a half hour up and back. Yesterday it was an hour, almost 2 hours. They had a bunch of deer run through the pipeline, and of course you can see that. That's a nice, probably can't make that out. That's a deep ridge right there. Makes you wonder, this is cut right here. This is another cut trail right there. And this is the middle. What did that? You know? What were they? I like to think possibilities. What they were doing, what piece of equipment did they have through here that made that big cut in the ground? This is all pretty cool back here. And the good thing is we're probably a quarter mile from the entrance, which is over there. You can't get to us here from anywhere over here because it's all private property on that end. So the only way you could, here we go with the bend in the thing is pretty close. Come on. Okay. What? But yeah, there's not a lot of people here. Man, not a lot. I've seen a family of 3 out here camping once, and I saw 2 motorcyclers with their dirt bikes. Sound like a grandpa. 2 kids with their bikes riding through. We can hear them. Hey, come on. Hey, let's show you how many we got. Let's show you what we found here the other day. Now we're just, goddamn it, we're gonna walk to the pipeline. Hey, get off my nest. Found a bald-faced hornet nest. I was out here a couple days ago. It's fun to see all the stuff that's left over from the summer. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's wet. It's rain. But we're gonna take this to our local hardware shop. He collects these. So we took this off of the main pipeline because I don't want anybody else to see it and destroy it. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, we had 2 kids in their dirt bikes that got lost out here. We heard them. And they were just going in circles and circles. Finally, we walked out here a little bit and we could hear them talking. Hey, you guys all right? Oh, we're lost. I don't know how to follow my voice. That's when they saw the no trespassing. Oh my God! Wait, oh, you're fine. Come on. Just go through our property and you'll get to the road. Come on. There's something out there. Mac, let's go. Making a whiny, like a horse, but it was a higher pitch. It might have been the hunter. We were out a 3 years ago. We're doing the same thing, walking in public land. We didn't see any hunter. We turned the corner, and of course, we turned the corner and I looked at the trees. I didn't see anything, but something was. And as soon as we had like 3 or 4 more feet, I heard the sugar turn over. So they side by side. Somebody was out there deep in the woods. They could see us. I couldn't see them. He didn't try to, but turned over his side by side to say, "Hey, there's somebody out here." Whoa. We backed up and we left. I understand it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that bald-faced hornet just sit out there. I'll come get it later. But yeah, it's hunting season. We let these guys have their fun. Guys and gals, sorry. Let them have whatever fun they want out here. We get it for the rest of the year. But like I said, we're gonna err on the side of caution. I don't think that was the actual. It was weird. It was a weird sound. That's the only reason why we're backing away. So it was I don't know. And it was stopped too. It only happened that twice, 2 times. So that guy might have heard something. Had a call. Turkey call. Squirrel call. I used to have squirrel calls back in the day. It seems like it's following us because it was even with us when we were sitting down there. And now it's up there. And this isn't a Bigfoot thing. Just trying to figure out what that is. And again, I've been city for most of my life. This is the first time I've been out here in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of pretty cool. So even though this doesn't scare me, I know it's not Bigfoot or not the dog man of Michigan. Hashtag dog man. It's a bird. I don't know why. Kind of cold with birds. Looking up in the trees, I don't see anything moving. There's no birds flying. There's actually no birds. They're so bad. Because it's cold and wet. We could go in and find it if we really wanted to. I don't want to, because I'm dry. My pants are dry. With my dogs, I'll wear my coveralls, and I don't care. I can fit into my coveralls. That's pretty cool. So laughing with a friend of mine the other night, talking. I said, the bad thing about getting old is when you start losing weight, you start questioning why. Is it some sickness or what the hell? I eat like shit. I'll be the first to admit it. I eat bacon and fucking burgers and pizza rolls and chicken nuggets and pizza and more pizza and peanut butter and toast. Ow! That's part of the fun in rural Michigan. Get caught on trees. Brr. So somehow, people have gotten appliances out of here. Out there's old appliances. This used to be a landfill, as far as I know. It used to be a landfill. There used to be a road out here called Landfill Road. So that kind of gives it away, what it used to be. So I'm sure that's why they planted all kinds of new trees in here, because it used to be a landfill. They covered it up. So it disappeared. Well, I could tell you with owning a couple acres that way, our land is sinking. We're having roots from trees that are starting to come up from the ground. We're getting charred pieces of lumber that are all of a sudden appearing from the ground. And I don't mean all of a sudden. I mean like next year in the summertime, there'll be 4 or 5 big pieces of lumber that a couple of them will probably have to use a Jeep to get it out with my winch. Tied a strap around it and pull it out, something. Can't believe how quiet it is. This is a great thing about being out this far up north. It is so quiet. Recently been in a discussion about the population and the crime and the general overall health of northern Michigan. Recently, we have had a stabbing in a Meyer parking lot that was handled by a concealed carry gentleman. No harm. I take that back, there was harm. There were people that were stabbed. Some pretty bad, if I remember correctly. There were a couple that were still in the hospital after a couple weeks. We had that. That was a mental health problem. We just had 2 17-year-old kids down in the same city, in Traverse City, steal a car, go to Las Vegas. Oh, gigolo. They stole a car, killed the guy that was working at the parking garage so they could steal the car. If I recall correctly, I may not. Allegedly, I guess you have to say. They shot at police too while trying to run away. And of course, you got the homeless problem, and you got all these problems are created by people that do not live here. These problems that we have up here are created by people that downstate that vacation up here that don't understand the way of life up here. If you look on the map, we are too far spread across the community for anything that makes sense as far as mass transit. We've had plenty of buses try to make it up here. They last a year or two they get funding from the government, and that's it. Once they're left on their own, they quit because they can't make any money. It's too expensive. And that is the key words of Northern Michigan. It's too expensive for the regular person to live up here. It's absolutely insane. You ask anybody that was raised up here in the up until the 1900s, 1999, 2000, what your modus operandi, your MO was. You would live up here until you were old enough to go to college. You go away to college, you make your money, you start your family, you move up here when you're middle-aged, and you retire up here. That's the game plan of living up here. I spent 10 years away. I went in the military, I went in Grand Rapids, made a name, made a little bit of money, came back here and made the most of it. Now we're sitting up here with 2 acres and a couple dogs, and I'll pet your dog. I'll pet your dog. What? But it is expensive to live up here. Rent is out of control. It's because you can't find. It's expensive. You need a car. You can't walk wherever you're gonna go. You need to be established. You need to be able to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You can't rely on anybody else to get you around. It's just not. No. Crazy. I don't know. It's weird. When I think of it as, you know what, we're gonna go to the other clear spot too. You can see, that's the 4 trees out of 1. This is how I know we're one of our landmarkers that I used to go to the clear spot. So we're gonna go there because we got time. We got it all day. We've got nothing planned. Here comes the Detroit guy. That's not noisy enough for FedEx, so that's the Sky West, I think it is. Nope, that's FedEx guy. You see him? Probably not. But you need a car to live up here. Not only do you need a car, you need a car that can survive a bad winter. We get about 120 inches of snow a year. That's about 10 feet. This last March, we had a weekend starting on Saturday, extending into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of rain. We had a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain on every fucking thing up here in Northern Michigan. Our power was out. Personally, our power was out for 4 days. We know people that had power out for a month. The ones that lived on a one string road, that's all I have is 1 strand of power going out there. Right here's the other clear spot we're walking to. It's not easy. It's tough. It's tough up here. I'll tell you, I went through my tough times living up here. I'm not saying it was fun. It's not. And I didn't get through it alone. But eventually, my wife got a better job and I was able to retire. Yay! No. It's fun living up here, but you got to understand, you're never going to have the convenience that you have in the big cities. You can't. They're too far spread apart. Buses won't make it. Rail won't make it. Uber, not a chance in the world. You want to go to dinner? You got to plan what you want, when you want it, and make reservations. The chances are they're probably not open if it's in the off season. But this is the other clear spot. This is, we don't know what they were doing with this property. We got cherry trees, cherry trees, cherry trees. Montmorency cherry trees. Right now they don't spit out anything worth talking about, but of course they're on public land, so nobody takes care of them. They're just, I guess, planted and hope to survive. But we have a couple of these trees on our property. I think 2. Man, I had bacon before I left. I got little bacon pieces in my mouth. Yay, presents. Yeah, it's difficult up here. It's yeah, the power outage, March, we ended up without power for 4 days. The other thing that kept us warm was we have a propane gas fireplace in our in the living room. So that's where we lived, in the living room. We had 1 hot meal a day. That was only because we were campers in our in our younger days. And we still had the camping gear, so it was like a big camp out, you know. And truth be told, I had went to the dispensary 2 days before, so we had 2 ounces, and we were baked every minute of every day, and that's how we made it. I swear to God, it was so much fun. But after that, we my first trip was to the hardware store to get a chainsaw, because we had lost a shit ton of trees. I will I'll take another picture of that. We won't, this won't get, I don't know. But yeah, I bought a chainsaw. Oh, what'd I do? Then after that, we ended up calling an electrician to have them come and wire our house to accept a generator. And we went out and we bought a big ass generator that is enough to power our house. A dual filter Westinghouse, I think it is. It's 18,000, 21,000. I can't remember how many kilowatts or whatever it is rated, but it fires up our house. We had it running just to make sure, and it runs our house, even though we're not gonna run our whole house with a generator. What we did need was the water, because we're on a pump, on a well, so we needed to have the power for our well. And heat, like I said, we're fine with the propane gas fireplace. That works just fine. As long as we have propane canisters, you know. But yeah, the heat and the water. But we survived. We made it. We got smart. We gained knowledge and we used it. So now we're ready for whatever Mr. Winter might have to plan. Speaking of the March, this is what ended up that tree. Look at that tree. That's because of the snow, the rain, the ice that was on this during the spring. Look at all that, all around it. That's all from springtime. That's crazy. And it's sad. I mean, it was a gorgeous tree. All that is branches and twigs and shit laying on the ground, waiting to trip me up. All right, well, it's my day off, and I'm not high yet, so I'm gonna get high. I can't do that on this because YouTube will not appreciate that. So, on behalf of myself and my dogs, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Guys, have a good day today. Be happy. Be happy we're breathing. Be happy we're alive. Life is good. Take care, folks. Hasta mañana. What is that? Mate ahi mate.